The war on drugs have cost us millions of ringgits and thousands of lives, and the only way we're gonna put it to an end is by understand everything behind it.
Trying drugs for the first time, I feel like I'm very happy. It can make me feel very calm and I can relieve my stress.
Humans have been looking for ways to alter their consciousness by taking drugs that are found in nature since time immemorial. And it's really only in the last century that the labs have caught up to craft whatever kind of experience someone wants. The use of chemicals to alter mood, both for therapy and for recreation, has created a shadow industry that law enforcement can't contain, and pharmaceutical companies are desperate to control.
In Malaysia, common drugs used are opiates, heroin, cannabis, shabu, yaba, and ecstasy. However, Malaysia opiates are the most commonly abused drugs, followed closely by cannabis and amphetamine-based stimulants such as ecstasy.
So I am actually curious to know that do you have any jobs before you become a drug dealer, or you straight away become a drug dealer? And also I wanted to know that your personal reason why do you get involved in drug dealing?
I worked in various management and supervisory roles in pubs, bars and disco venues. My jobs were not all permanent and that caused me not to have a stable income. I have 5 family members and I'm the breadwinner. So I lost my jobs, my family members became poor, and both my brothers were not able to continue their studies. At the beginning of the stage, I was really sad and I did not know what to do so that I can help my family. Then one day, one of my cousins called my brothers and made fun of my family and our state of poverty. I got extremely angry and I was on my way to their house to warn them. On the way, I saw a man coming out of his car and dropping a stack of cash. And I got to know that that guy was a drug dealer, and he did not pick up the money because he earned more than that, tons and tons more than that. That is where I got the idea of becoming a drug dealer, to bring my family to a richer condition and to let my brothers continue their studies.
I see. So after you become a drug dealer, do you actually achieve what you wanted? And also I wanted to know how your life goes day by day, meaning to say that how your life actually takes turns.
Thankfully, yes, I did. Now both my brothers have completed their studies and working as a lawyer and a doctor respectively. I've also bought 2 bungalows for my parents, condominium for my brothers, luxury cars for my parents, supercars for my brothers, and because there is nothing more important than family. I enjoyed my life to the max and I showed up in front of my relative who looked down and bashed us towards my family.
So how do you actually compare the money you earned when you was normal before you become a drug dealer and versus right now you are actually known as the king of drugs?
Before this, I used to earn around 2,000 ringgit per month, and now I earn up to 20,000 ringgit per transaction, which adds up to at least 100,000 ringgit per month.
Drug abuse or substance abuse refers to the use of certain chemicals for the purpose of creating pleasurable effects on the brain.
I started with weed, morphine and ecstasy.
Frequent drug abuse could lead to drug dependence. Drug dependence occurs when you need one or more drugs to function, whereas drug tolerance is when a regular user of a drug gradually becomes less responsive to the drug. This can often lead to the person taking larger amounts of the drug to achieve the same effect.
It makes me sick. There's this little voice in my head that keep always telling me, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing? Because you see what it does to people and you see how it's affecting their friends, their family. But I'm so stubborn that I just don't care and do it anyway. I keep trying drugs, the newest drugs. I don't know what's wrong with me at that time.
contrast to other areas of the world, drug misuse in Malaysia is mostly not associated to family variables such as parental behavior, family relationships, home environment, and economic status. The top contributory causes to drug misuse are peer influence and curiosity.
Basically, I buy it from my friends because my friends got their own supplier on that time. I lied to my parents that I need money to buy my school stuff for my school stuff, but actually I want to buy drugs.
Research shows drug abuse usually starts with the social pressure to belong, to be accepted, and to be a part of a social group, especially in teenagers, prompts them to conform to their peer group and start trying out drugs. They wanted to fit in, be like the people they like, do what they do, or own what they have.
Peer pressure could actually persuade a person to do something relatively harmless or something with catastrophic effects like drug abuse.
Malaysians have always had the stereotype that drug users are primarily from broken households or orphan children.
The majority of drug users questioned for drug-related offences had actually confessed that they took these substances out of curiosity. The reason why curiosity is the main factor of drug abuse in our country is because the elders tend to keep these type of topics hidden from the younger generations, as they are afraid that talking about it might influence them. Well, this is actually an erroneous viewpoint. Even if they have heard about it once or twice, they were never informed of the effects and implications of drug abuse. It is in the very human nature to be curious when they are not made aware of certain knowledge or information. Drug abuse could lead to short-term effects, long-term effects, physical and mental health effects, and even overdose.
The short-term effect of drug abuse includes changes in appetite, insomnia, increased heart rate, slurred speech, changes in cognitive ability, loss of coordination, and a temporary sense of euphoria. As for the physical effects, it would cause the addict with the inability to stop using a drug, relationship problems, poor work or academic performance, difficulty maintaining personal hygiene, noticeable changes in appearance such as extreme weight loss, increased impulsivity where they would start acting without thinking. They will then develop a sense of loss of interest in formerly enjoyable activities, like they wouldn't be thrilled to play badminton now like they used to enjoy before.
We don't even get high. We don't get high off this stuff. It's just survival.
People that don't use it, they don't believe that they're using it just to feel better. They think they're using it just because they want to get high and feel good and stuff, but they don't understand the addiction. It's physical and mental, and the physical part of it is awful.
I mean, without it, we literally lay there on the floor and lay there on piles of sweat. Freezing cold, hot, just tossing and turning all day long for hours. Can't even get up to go hustle any money because you're so ill.
Chronic drug use can alter a person's brain structure and function, resulting in long-term psychological effects such as depression, anxiety, panic disorders, increased aggression, paranoia, and hallucinations.
The long-term physical effects of drug use vary depending on the types of drug and the duration of use. However, most of the experts have linked that chronic drug abuse
would actually cause liver diseases, which leads to inflammation and cause liver failure, kidney failure, respiratory problems, cardiovascular disease, which could lead to heart attacks, seizures, and overdose.
By 17, I had overdose and I have been sexually assaulted twice, had moved out of my family home, had developed an eating disorder, and had tried to commit suicide.
This drug usage will eventually lead to more serious consequences such as HIV, AIDS, snatch stealing, burglary, which is actually a threat to immediate family members such as mothers, fathers, and even a greater threat to the community.
After you try lots of drugs, you have an anger issue. Like if you don't get it, you get angry. If you don't have money, you want to steal it. If someone didn't give you money, you feel like you want to punch him or her. You want to kill that person because they didn't give you the money for you to buy drugs.
Drug addiction can also result in addicts losing judgment until they are willing to do anything, including killing, to get money for the purpose of earning drug supply.
Sometimes I do feel remorse seeing how these people life turn upside down because of the things I sell to them.
I just want to say to all Malaysians, please don't do drugs.
I will never recommend it to anyone.
Don't you ever and ever take drugs. If you want to, please remember that someone you love and also your God.
I could still not buy myself peaceful sleep, and peaceful lives.
We need to end this. We need to end drug abuse.